Good evening and welcome to the City of Woodstock's public planning meeting for April 14th, 2025. Tonight's meeting is an open public meeting as required by the Planning Act. This meeting will be live streamed to the city's YouTube channel, and a recording of the meeting will also be posted to the city's website following the meeting. An agenda of the meeting can be found on the Agendas, Meetings and Minutes page of the city's website. This meeting is for information and discussion purposes only, and no decisions will be made this evening. Council will make a decision on these matters at the regular council meeting to be held this Thursday at 7 p.m. If you wish to address council at that meeting, you must submit a delegation form to the city clerk no later than 12 noon tomorrow on Tuesday. A delegation form is available on the city website. If an application is denied, only the applicant or the minister may file an appeal with the Ontario Land Tribunal within 20 days of issuance of the notice of council's decision. Only specified persons, public bodies, registered owners of land to which the plan may apply, the requester to amend the plan, and the minister may appeal the decision of the City of Woodstock to the Ontario Land Tribunal within 20 days of issuance of notice of council's decision. Excluding the minister, any party wishing to make an appeal must make written or oral submissions to council at this public meeting. Please note that third parties or anyone who is not a specified person or public body do not have the right to appeal a decision for an official plan amendment to the Ontario Land Tribunal. Please, this evening, keep your comments to planning matters only and avoid repeating comments that have already been expressed. If you have not provided oral or written comments but wish to receive formal public notice of council's decision on this matter, please contact the clerk's office. The notice will provide further information on appealing the decision. The planner will be asked to present the applications reports before us tonight, and then the applicant will be able to provide an opportunity to make comments, followed by anyone who wishes to speak in favor of the application, and then anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to the application. But before we get going, is there anyone who would like to declare conflict of interest on any of tonight's applications? Seeing none, then let's proceed. Our first application is B25-06-8, application for consent, Hunt Property Corporation. Mr. Miller, the floor is yours.
Am I on? Okay. Good evening, council, staff, members of the public. Application B25-06-8, Hunt Property Corp. The subject lands are described as Plan 293, Lot 142C in the city of Woodstock. The lands are located on the west side of Stony Road, north of Henry Street, and are municipally known as 124 Stony Road. The subject lands are designated low-density residential in the county's official plan and are zoned R2 in the city's zoning bylaw. The purpose of the application for consent is to sever a vacant lot next to an existing single detached dwelling. The applicant has indicated that he plans to construct an addition to the existing single detached dwelling to create a semi-detached dwelling with each unit on a separately conveyable lot. With respect to the PPS, the proposal is consistent with the intensification, redevelopment, and housing policies, as the application is considered an efficient use of land and municipal infrastructure within a service settlement area, provides a diversity of housing types, and represents appropriate density for new housing that makes efficient use of existing municipal services. With respect to the relevant official plan policies for low-density residential areas, staff are of the opinion that the proposal can be characterized as appropriate street-oriented infill development and intensification that is supported by the official plan. This area of the city is characterized by a variety of lot sizes and built forms, including rear yard infill developments, townhouses, single detached dwellings, and semi-detached dwellings, and the proposed severed and retained lands are compatible with other lots and development in the area in this regard. Planning staff are of the opinion that the proposed severance is a form of street-oriented infill and is consistent with the policy direction of the provincial planning statement and the official plan. It can be supported from a planning perspective, subject to the recommended conditions attached 1 through 5. And the recommendation is that the City of Woodstock advise the Land Division Committee that the city supports the proposal to sever the subject lands subject to the 6 conditions.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the planner from council? Seeing none, then, is the applicant present and do they wish to address council? Are there any questions for the applicant if he were to come forward? Mr. Hunt, if you could give your name and address for the record, and then I'll call on Mr. Schadenberg.
Steve Hunt, 684803 Highway 2, Woodstock.
Counselor Shanberg?
Yeah, from the chair through to Mr. Hunt, I guess the best question is the side deck on that existing house that'll have to be removed?
There is no longer a side deck on the house.
It's already been removed. Any other improvements or any other physical improvements on either of the lots that still might have to be removed, just as far as lot coverage goes?
No.
That's it then,
All
for
right,
me
thank
anyway.
you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who virtually or in person that wishes to speak in favor of the application? Seeing none, is there anyone who wishes to speak against the application? Also seeing none, then we will move on to our second application, ZN 8-25-02, application for zone change, 643398 Ontario Limited. Mr. Miller.
Thank you. The application by Jim Harrison, the subject lands are described as Lot 6 to 8, Plan 34 in the city of Woodstock. The lands are located on the south side of Main Street between Wellington Street South and Victoria Street South and are municipally known as 572 Main Street. The subject lands are designated traditional industrial with a special policy area in the county's official plan, are currently zoned special transitional area M44 and are proposed to be zoned special transitional industrial area M412. The application for zone change proposes to permit a personal service shop on the subject lands. The requested personal service shop will be included in the maximum gross floor area for business or professional office as identified in the current M44 zone and will be limited to a maximum area of 65 square meters. The proposal will promote an efficient use of existing employment lands and infrastructure by supporting additional service commercial uses within an existing underutilized building. Planning staff are satisfied that the proposed development is consistent with the PPS with respect to land uses within a designated settlement area. The traditional industrial designation permits a full range of industrial uses, but does not typically permit business or professional offices or personal service shops. However, the subject lands include a special policy area within the official plan and includes a business or professional office as an additional permitted use with a maximum gross floor area limit. The applicant's request to amend the site-specific policy area to include personal service shop can be considered in keeping with the overall intent of the traditional industrial policies and the existing special policy area as the proposed personal service shop has similar servicing, parking, and spatial needs as a business or professional office, and given the limited floor area proposed, would not compromise the overall primary use of the property for traditional industrial uses. Planning staff also considered the proposal to be generally in keeping with the official plan policies contained in section 7.3.6.2 with respect to existing industrial buildings in transitional industrial areas. The proposed personal service establishment is similar to the business professional office already permitted on the lands and will remain compatible and not hinder surrounding transitional industrial uses present in the building and that exist to the north. Staff also note that the use would be considered compatible with the service commercial uses existing on the parcel abutting to the west, which is a veterinary office, and the residential uses to the east, northeast, and northwest. Through circulation of this application, engineering, building, and Oxford County Public Works departments staff have determined that adequate services, parking, and loading spaces are provided for the requested personal service use. Planning staff are satisfied that the proposal is consistent with the policies of the provincial planning statement and meets the general intent and purpose of the official plan respecting minor changes to non-conforming uses permitted in zoning and can be given favorable consideration. As such, staff recommend approval of the application.
Thank you. Just for the crowds that are watching at home, do you mind popping the application up onto the,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
thanks, just so they can follow along. Any questions for the planner? Mayor Accioni?
Thank you. Through you, Chair. I was going to mention that as well. But I was asked this morning what a personal service shop example would be, and I had a tough time answering that. I'm curious if I'm right.
So, yeah, so through the chair, personal service shops, and I think specific to this are often things like salons, barbershops, nails, things like that.
I guess professional service offices wasn't the right answer that I gave then. So Okay.
So what's permitted right now is a business and professional office, which could be like a law office or a clinical office, things like that. And then a personal service shop is, yeah, things like salons, nails, things like that.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Any other questions for the planner? Seeing none then, thank you. Is the applicant present? Would you wish to address council? If you could give your name and address for the record, and then, yeah, your
Yeah,
description.
Jim Harrison, my addresses are for Embro actually, but, the property is 572 Main. The space that we were asking for the the additional designation for was the same space that was approved for my wife's, speech pathology department 20 years ago. The only difference now is that the current person who is interested, and she's here this evening, has turned it into even a nicer space than my wife had, and I haven't said that to her. But it's, I'm not going to. But, well, she's seen it, and we agree. It's, the additional designation suits my purposes, suits my, tenants' purposes as well. So, thank you.
Any questions for the applicant?
Yes.
Counselor Schadenberg.
Yeah, from the chair through Mr. Harrison, I guess really unrelated to this planning matter. Your building must be just about one of the oldest ongoing commercial buildings in the city of Woodstock. Does it predate the railway track? Just curious, I would know, you would know that answer because
Yes.
you
No,
have a historical background
yeah,
too for the city.
The building itself is 1862. And the Grand Trunk Railroad, we actually paid $100 in gold to have it put in. So yes, it predates it.
Did you have a follow-up, Counselor?
No, that's it. I'm just,
Okay.
it's more than nostalgic and the fact that we're maintaining and improving older buildings. It doesn't matter if it's a 50-year-old building or a
100, yeah.
200-year-old building. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions for the applicant? Not seeing any. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Is there anyone in attendance who wishes to speak in favor of the application? Or online? Not seeing any. Anyone who wishes to speak against the application? Also not seeing any, so we will move on to our third application this evening. OP 25-01-8 and ZN 8-25-01, application for official plan amendment and zone change, B&R Holding, Inc. Mr. Miller.
The subject lands are described as Block 1, Plan 41M311 in the city of Woodstock. The lands are located on the northwest corner of Woodall Way and Sprucedale Road and are municipally known as 427 Woodall Way. The subject lands are currently designated business park in the county's official plan, are proposed to be zoned business park with a special provision or special policy area. The subject lands are currently zoned special prestige industrial zone M18, and the applicant proposes to rezone them to special prestige industrial zone, which would be an M1 special designation, which should this be approved by county council as well, will come up with that special zone number. Application has been received to amend the official plan in the city's zoning bylaw to permit a recreational building with a maximum gross floor area of 945 square meters within an existing building. The subject lands are currently contain a warehouse building with a gross floor area of 2,787 square meters. The proposed official plan amendment would add a special policy to the business park designation to facilitate the recreation building / indoor sports, which has the same definition in the city's zoning bylaw. The zone change application proposes to rezone the subject property from special prestige industrial to permit the proposed recreational building. The subject lands are currently zoned M18 in the zone and permit all the uses of the M1 zone in a municipal recreational building and do not, or they specifically exclude a hotel. The M1 zone permits limited industrial uses as well as some office uses. The requested zone change would add recreational building, indoor sports as a permitted use to the uses established in the M18 zone. The subject lands contain a recently constructed warehouse building. Planning staff are of the opinion that the subject proposal is consistent with the policies of the PPS as development is an efficient use of land in municipal services within a fully serviced settlement area, and the use will not detract from the employment uses in the vicinity. The subject lands are included in the Southeast Woodstock Secondary Plan, which permits minor limited institutional uses such as municipal parks and recreational facilities, excluding sensitive land uses within the business park designation. Planning staff consider the indoor recreational use to be similar in nature to the municipal recreational uses permitted in the current official plan designation and are more compatible with abutting community facilities and residential uses than other business park uses. The proposal is an appropriate use of a large freestanding structure that is typical of development within the business park designation. The indoor recreational use is considered compatible with surrounding business park uses, and in the event that the use ceases to exist, the space can be easily reconverted and reused for other uses within the zone. No exterior changes are proposed to the existing building, although the city's building department has identified that upgrades like fire separation, washrooms, things like that, may be required with the change in use in accordance with the Ontario Building Code. Planning staff are supportive of the applicant's request to permit a recreational building with a maximum gross floor area of 945 square meters. The limited area for recreational uses means that a majority of the building will still remain for business park uses. Previously, the site offered parking above the city's minimum standards. The gross floor area limit ensures that adequate parking will still be provided on the subject lands with the existing parking. Additionally, the current zoning would permit a municipal recreational facility, and the addition of an indoor recreational facility building as a permitted use only represents a minor deviation from the permitted uses in the M1 zone or the M18 zone, as the recreational use is not owned or maintained by the city. This office is of the opinion that the proposed amendment to the official plan to accommodate the proposed development of the subject lands generally complies with the relevant policies of the official plan respecting business park uses for properties within the Southeast Woodstock Secondary Plan, and the proposed zoning bylaw amendment is considered appropriate for the proposed development and can be given favorable consideration. As such, staff recommend that the City of Woodstock advise County Council that it supports the application to amend the official plan, and that the City Council for the City of Woodstock approve in principle the zone change for the application as submitted by BNR Holding Inc.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the planner? Counselor Schadenberg.
Yeah, from the chair through to Mr. Miller. As with all these sort of zoning changes, there'd be a circulation area of notification to residential and commercial people in this area. Were there any comments from either or positively or negatively that you may have received that aren't part of this report? As far as this proposal?
Through the chair, yeah, it's circulated to everyone within the radius. It doesn't really discriminate based on type. It just generates the mailing addresses for everyone within that radius. And we received no comments ahead of this meeting.
Any other questions, Counselor, or sorry, Mayor Accioni?
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Chair, to Mr. Miller, and I apologize, I don't have it here in my notes. I made a note over the weekend reading this report about the parking. And I just want to make sure I understand. The parking's okay with the added use, but still okay with the rest of the additions, because I drove by and I think there's a total of 6 units. 2 of the units are gonna be this proposal. So that still leaves requirements for the other units, and I just wanted to make sure that was included.
That's right, through the chair. So we worked this out with the city's building department as part of this process, and that's how we landed on the square footage of 945 square meters. That's the amount of parking they had. So the parking standard for industrial uses is very
Much
low.
lower. Yeah. No, no,
So when we convert those uses to the use that's proposed, it's much higher. So it was basically reversed engineered to ensure that they still met the city's parking standard for those uses, and that's how we landed on the 945 square meters.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that, thank you.
Any other questions? I'm not seeing any. Thank you. Is the applicant present? Do you wish to address council? Are there any questions for the applicant? If I could coerce them to come forward? No? All right. Okay. If you could state your name and address.
Ray Nafi, owner of 427 Woodall Way, Woodstock, Ontario.
Counselor Schadenberg. You have a question?
Yeah, I guess my question of the applicant would be it's one thing to sort of say there's indoor recreational opportunities and possibilities, everything from baseball to climbing walls and stuff like that. What would be your specific, your vision as to what's gonna be in this, building?
So my tenant is gonna be limited to badminton, cricket, and I believe two more sports. Sorry, I do have it on my phone. If you like, I can pull my phone. Yeah, and I believe basketball court as well. There's only 4 uses. there's no
So would somebody
climbing,
be
there's-
renting the basketball court or teams tournament kind of setup or?
I don't know exactly what the business is, but my tenant is planning to do cricket, basketball, badminton, and I believe another type of court. So I'm not very familiar with the business itself as how they will, I believe they will have a teams and playing teams type of thing. Yeah. But exact details of the business, I don't have it.
Any other questions? Mayor Accioni?
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Nafty. Sorry?
yeah.
I guess I answered a question maybe incorrectly this morning. I was asked
Okay.
if there was going to be courts inside, and sounds like maybe there is.
Okay.
This question I got directed was about a pickleball court. So you don't know if there was a pickleball court included in that.
If you give
Do
me
you?
a second to grab my
Sure,
phone. and
if
I
you don't
have it.
mind, since I was asked that question. I didn't think there'd be enough space.
So it looks like the tenant is planning on having a tennis,
Sounds good.
yeah, table tennis,
Oh, table
baseball,
tennis.
badminton, and cricket.
You said baseball?
Baseball, yes.
Hmm.
I think it's just a
Batting
small
cage or
court.
something
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Not seeing any. Thank you very much. Is there anyone in attendance online or in person that wishes to speak in favor of the application? Not seeing any. Anyone who wishes to speak against the application? Also not seeing any. That concludes tonight's meeting, our 3 applications. The decision on these items will be made at council on Thursday evening, and I will declare the meeting adjourned at 7:24.